Hello everybody, welcome back to the MXGP of Sweden. Round 16 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. 4 rounds to go after this one. Race 1 had a lot of everything in it. If race 2 is anything like that, then we are going to be in for an absolute treat. The first time we came to Sweden was back in 1958. Sten Lundin, a Swede riding a Monarch 500cc, was the victor that day. We only ever had 2 Swedish winners. But in terms of the riders lining up in MXGP, Jeremy Seewer, the most successful with 3 Grand Prix wins. Tim Geiser, back from injury, has 2 victories. Jeffrey Hurling's also with 2. Who will it be that stands on the top step of the podium? Roman Fevre, a former winner, chasing his 2nd success around this Swedish circuit, the Glimminga Motor Stadium outside of Uddevalla. A very warm welcome to Sweden if you're joining us for the first time here this weekend. You see the MXGP riders out on track on their sighting lap as they prepare for MXGP Race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. We'll see the highlights of that first race in a moment. The fans here have been nothing but atmospheric, supportive and passionate. Their lead rider, Isak Gifting, put on a splendid performance for a brief period of time in race 1. He'll be hoping to do the same again for a little bit longer in race 2, a venue where he led for a few laps in front of his home fans 12 months ago. The racetrack here is 1,600 meters long. We're pretty much at sea level. The circuit undergoing some changes just where the end of sector 2 is, top of the screen there, coming out of the left over the intermediate sector line. So left, left, right, left and right, back up to the next left. But a unique venue if you're new to MXGP, and the fact that the crowd sit up on the hills and the rock quarry to get the best seat in the house. You only get this kind of atmosphere in MXGP. This weekend it happens in Sweden. Everybody coming to support their Swedish riders, but more in particular, Isak Gifting. Let's take a look at the highlights from race 1. In the first MXGP race, Roman Fevre over the foxhole shot line, the championship leader with the red plate on the front of his Kawasaki for the 6th time this season. Jeffrey Hurling's emerged in 2nd. Isak Gifting giving the fans what they wanted in 3rd. In the yellow and blue, Geiser back from injury on the Honda in 4th. Hurling's up the inside though, took a very quick lead from the Frenchman, but that would only last a couple of corners because just like in the qualifying race, Roman Fevre was in no mood for hanging around. Quickly found his way to the lead. Hurling's there in 2nd. Gifting then put the Dutchman back to 3rd place. And the fans were absolutely euphoric and ecstatic on their feet. Wouldn't last long though. Hurling's back into 2nd with that pass on the Swede. And then top of your screen, Geiser landed on Gifting. A 50-50 racing incident. Both riders went cartwheeling out of the race. Geiser couldn't restart his motorcycle. Gifting did rejoin the race. It was ever a good performance for Ducati. Jeremy Seewer, he crashed out of 4th. He would not finish the race either. The rider who's finished on the podium, on the top step of the podium 3 times in his career here. Maxime Renault got the better of Jan Panzer as he moved into 5th. Panzer eventually came home in 8th place. But when all was said and done, Roman Fevre, an 8-time race winner in 2025, with that victory in race 1 from Hurlings, Verlandren, Fernandez and Renault. Anyway, let's go down to Lisa Leyland. She was down on the grid a few moments ago. She caught up with the injured Kevin Horgmo, and before that, Lucas Kuhnen, who was 7th in race 1.
So we're almost ready for the final race of the day, MXGP Race 2, but let's grab a few words with Red Bull KTM Factory MXGP rider Lucas Kuhnen. Lucas, I guess it's turning out to be quite a tough GP for you. In that first race, it looked like you were holding your shoulder or looking down at your arm or something. Just give us an insight on what's actually happening at the moment.
Yeah, I had a good jump out of the gate, but I got closed down, and then in the pack, was a bit sketchy, and I didn't want to take any risks, so I was quite far in the back, like almost last, and tried to come back, and was already tough on this track, and fought my way up. But I know around 20 minutes to go, I had my right arm going a bit like sleepy, like really sore, and I was a bit whiskey in the entry of the corners and everything, so not much control. And then I still tried, but the arm pump crept in, and then with the right arm was really tough. But I mean, yeah, it happens. Sometimes you have tough days. This one is it's been a tough weekend already. But I mean, now we try to turn it on for the second moto, a different gate pick, and try to run up front and get the start.
Absolutely. Final race of the day. What are the challenges out there? How's the race shaping up? And in all terms of visibility as well, with the kind of low sun, does that make a difference out there now?
Yeah, yesterday quali moto was really tough with the sun and the kickers, but I mean now also will be tough. But I mean, if you check out every moto, the start is the key, and if you get the start, normally already your race is done. So I mean, just gonna rip it out of the start and try to be there in the first corners, and then see what we can do.
Good luck for this race. Thank you. Okay, let's grab a few words with Kevin Hawkmo, a rider we haven't seen since Finland. You're here, but clearly you're not lining up. Give us an update on your thumb. I know you had a shoulder injury as well. How's it all been going?
Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder 2 times this year, and then I was cycling on training, and I managed to destroy the ligament in my thumb. I tried to race in Finland, but it was not possible to ride good, and afterwards I take MRI scans, and yeah, I had to get surgery done, and then my season was finished, so I decided to also fix the shoulder, so we are looking good for 2026 and can recover good in the winter.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you're here, but I know you want to be lining up, and this track is perhaps the closest one to your home GP as well. You picked up a qualifying race win here, but it has caught a few riders out this weekend.
Yeah, sure. It's 3 hours from my home, so I would really like to race here, and it's a race I look forward to all season. But injuries like this happen, and I'm quite lucky with injuries in the past, so yeah, I just need to go through it and get over with, and next year we come back.
Positive though, you are standing in front of Quentin Prunier's bike, so it's kind of almost like you could pretend you're lining up with your team behind you, or is that a bad joke?
Yeah, it might be my bike, just with different stickers on. So
not Quentin Prunier's bike. Okay.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Thank you. Okay, good luck to all the guys. Kevin.
Isak Gifting. 2025 is gradually drawing to a close. We are in Sweden, round 16 at the moment, Uddevalla. A week from now, we move to the MXGP of the Netherlands at Arnhem, about an hour and 10, 15 minutes from Amsterdam. And then we have a weekend off, and then we got 3 in a row: Turkey, China, Australia. A lot of air miles will be gathered then. We have a week at home, and we head across the Atlantic to the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations in Indiana. Busy schedule coming up for the riders in MX2 and MXGP. Here's how the top 5 look in the championship after race 1. Roman Fevre now 25 points clear of Lucas Koenen. Koldenhoff there in 3rd. Fernandez 67 points behind the Hoff. 27 further back is Calvin Verlandren. Verlandren coming home in 3rd in race 1 behind Roman Fevre and Jeffrey Hurlings. Ruben Fernandez was 4th, Renault 5th, Koldenhoff 6th. Lucas Koenen 7th. Had a problem with a sleepy arm, sleepy shoulder, he said. Hopefully he can pull a ripper out of the start. That was his words a moment ago. Here's how the riders line up based on where they finished in the qualifying race yesterday. Roman Fevre going to the line on pole for the 3rd time, with Jeffrey Hurlings, Tim Geiser, Glenn Koldenhoff, Calvin Verlandren, Lucas Koenen, and the rest of the riders. They'll be taking their position behind the gate. The run down to the start straight, about 85 meters long, slightly downhill. Roman Fevre with his 8th win of 2025. And with Lucas Koenen finishing in 7th in that first race, Roman Fevre now 25 clear of this man right here, number 96, Lucas Koenen, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Just like the qualifying race yesterday, every time you can see the sun is shining down on the start straight behind the riders as they go through that first turn. Anytime they head back in the opposite direction, the sun is going to be low. The jumps the riders are going to be hitting are going to be dark-faced in terms of you're going to be difficult to see the lines, the ruts, the holes, the rocks, all those kind of things. The fly race at 15-second board up, that'll turn to 5, 30 minutes plus 2, MXGP Race 2, the concluding race for this Swedish Grand Prix here at Uddevalla. Great jump there from Roman Fevre, just like he did in race 1. Leaves Hurlings behind him. Guys are trying to go with him around the outside, and Gifting, is he going to lead heading into turn 2? Fevre gets the whole shot, but Gifting tries to go around with him, and Hurlings from out of nowhere finds himself in third, challenging for the lead, goes round the outside of Gifting, moves into second. Explosive start to MXGP Race 2. Koonen is down in turn 3. Bonacorsi is with him. An uphill challenge now for the Red Bull KTM rider, Lucas Koonen. There you see him in the background, dropping down into turn 5. As Romain Febvre leads just like he did in race 1. Hurlings there second, Gifting third, Geiser fourth, just like it was in race 1. Deja vu, folks. Fifth position, Calvin Verlanderen. He was sat there in 5th when Gifting and Geiser fell in front of him. He then inherited 3rd place. So he's going to be eyeing up a podium this weekend. Maxime Renault just behind him, his teammate, then Fernandez, Koldenhoff, Panzer, and Pauls Jonas. It's good to see Siwa back in the race as well after his hard fall in race 1 when he was in 4th. The Ducati rider in 12th place at the moment. But Hurlings in that 2nd position. Oh, here comes Gifting. Thought about it, didn't he? Romain Febvre trying to make a break for it, just like he did in race 1. Hurlings looks over his shoulder, wants to know who it is behind him. Sees that blue and yellow. Can't be no mistaking the Swede. He makes a mistake. And Geiser again. These two finding each other. Geiser coming back at him, trying to take the front away. Oh, I tell you what, that fuse has been lit. Gifting is not going to take that one lying down. Watch this here. Gifting's error here. Geiser had to hit the brakes, otherwise they would have gone down again. Gifting looks across, comes across, almost takes the front wheel from the Slovenian, and then there were more seconds and thirds going through the turn. Geiser, though, does find his way into 3rd place. Meanwhile, Lucas Koonen down in 27th position. Not good for the championship for him. Losing another 25. It's going to be 50. You put the flag out now. Talk about swinging in favour of Romain Febvre. Gifting off the back of the bike there as he tried to have another lunge at the Slovenian on the 243, that Honda HRC machine. Again, has another look. He fancies his chances. He's thinking, I don't care who you are. And actually, that's how he rides. Heart on his sleeve, doesn't worry about reputation. Just wants to go out there, do the best he can. And if he can do that, then he'll be happy. It was unfortunate that the two riders came together when they did in race 1. You can say it was a racing incident. Both riders will probably say it was different. Gifting will say he came out of the inside, jumped short on that little plateau and was aiming for the inside, and Geiser landed on him. Geiser will say he expected him to jump. 50-50, whatever. Not picking sides here. It happened. Both riders went out of 4th and 5th place. Or 3rd and 4th position, actually. But at the end of the 1st official lap, Romain Febvre with the fastest lap already, 52.3. He's 1.5 seconds clear of Jeffrey Hurlings. Geiser here in 3rd on the red machine. Gifting in 4th, Renault 5th, Verlanderen 6th, Koldenhoff 7 on the Fantic, Fernandez 8, Panzer 9, and Jonas in 10th. The atmosphere out there for this guy in blue and yellow, absolutely electric. Right, Lucas Koonen, he and Bonacorsi went down going into turn 3 right at the start of the race. Gate number 5 or 6. Koonen didn't make a good jump. He's hanging, well, I'll tell you what, who didn't make a good jump was Jonas. But Koonen, look, in around about 7th or 8th place, is about to come into view. There he is now. Gets left behind by Verlanderen and decides, you know what, let's just tip around the inside here. So he's doing well at the moment, 6th or 7th. The rider on the left now in the yellow boots. Gets pushed to the outside. Right, bottom right, oh, he cross-rutted and then came across and inadvertently took out the 132 of Bonacorsi. So it's looked like he jumped into the dip, caught the rut, that pitched him off to the right-hand side. And all of a sudden he's now playing catch-up. 101 there, just ahead of him, Guadagnini. So he's in 22nd, 23rd place at the moment. Bonacorsi trying to latch onto the rear wheel of Coonan. The good news is 24.5 minutes plus 2 laps still remain. The bad news is Coonan still not in the points, even though he finds his way past Guadagnini, moves into 23rd place. Meanwhile, sitting pretty at the head of the field, Romain Febvre, who was victorious in this Grand Prix 10 years ago. That was the last time he won here. He's looking to do that again here. But it's Febvre, Herlings, Geiser with 24 plus 2 to go. Romain Febvre through turn 6. Herlings, Geiser, Gifting, still on 2 wheels. In that 4th place. He's had 1 or 2 close moments with Geiser again in his 2nd race, just like he did have in race 1. Wasn't this right turn. It was coming out of this one where the incident happened. In that first race, both riders ended up in a heap here in the middle of the track. Well, Geiser over there on the infield. Again, he likes that move down the inside, doesn't he? Isak Gifting. Put the flag out now. Febvre, Herlings, Valandren is your podium. Maxime Renaux, 3 points shy. Hasn't had a podium since round 1. Maxime Renaux, when he was victorious at the opening round in Argentina. Isak Gifting coming down past pit lane. Viking blood. You can see he's throwing absolutely everything into this 2nd MXGP race. Disappointed with how it ended in race 1. The fact that he's still got Tim Geiser right there in his line of sight and setting the fastest lap of the race on lap 3 this time around, Isak Gifting. It's going to go 1 or 2 ways, isn't it? You're either going to win it or bin it. I hope he doesn't bin it, because there's definitely a little bit of red mist coming down beneath the visor there of Isak Gifting. Unfinished business between him and Tim Geiser, you sense, given the fact that they were playing silly buggers coming out of the chicane at the end of pit lane at the start of the race. Having another look down the inside here, Gifting thinks better of it. Three laps complete. MXGP Race 2 here in Sweden, the MXGP of Sweden at Uddevalla. Round 16 of this FIM Motocross World Championship. Romain Febvre continues to lead by 2 seconds over Jeffrey Herlings, Kawasaki Racing Team rider leading the Red Bull KTM. Honda HRC's Tim Geiser from Slovenia, just there, 2:43. He is in 3rd. Gifting is in 4th position. He just set the fastest lap a lap ago, a 1:50.3. Still got Geiser locked in his sights. As I said a moment ago, looks like there might be a little bit of unfinished business here between these two, based on what happened at the end of the opening lap. At the end of pit lane here, through the left-right, you're the fastest on the track, basically. That was from last lap's previous time. But what a performance from him. Isak Gifting, the JK Racing Yamaha rider, a privateer, don't forget that team. Meanwhile, Lucas Coonan, who fell on the opening lap in turn 3, is still outside of the points in 21st place. The gap between Febvre and Coonan at the start of the weekend was 9. You put the flag out now, it's 50 points between 1st and 2nd. That's what you call a good day at the office for Romain Febvre. He won the qualifying race. He won race 1. Can he win all 3 races? Throughout the course of the weekend. Romain Febvre hasn't had a double race win this year, so that'll be a first. Plenty of time to go though, look, just over 19 minutes, plus 2 laps. But the support for Isak Gifting all around this racetrack here has been nothing short of sensational. That's why riders like to come to their home Grand Prix, especially when you know you can run at the sharp end like Gifting did last year. And it's exactly what he wanted to do this year as well. He was running in 3rd before he and Geiser crashed out of the first one. And at the start of this one, he was up for the fight as well. Again, a mistake in that same part of the racetrack where he made that same mistake earlier on, which allowed Geiser to get onto the rear wheel. Geiser had to pull out of the challenge. Then there was some afters for the next 50 meters or so between them. So Febvre, Herlings, Geiser, Gifting. Febvre not getting away from Herlings, so I'm not sure if he's just managing the situation, or we're getting to the point where, again, every time you turn left and head up, sort of towards the rider's right-hand side, their left-hand side now, because you can see where the shadows are. So like now, into the sun, briefly, through this left, drop down into this right-hander, get out of here, shadows getting longer as the sun starts to set. Every time you pop up into this direction, sun low. Can't really see the lines too clear on the takeoffs because the jump faces are sort of setting shadows, just riding on memory from the previous lap, hoping that everything is okay. So I wonder if Febvre is just managing that situation, try to push when he's got clear visibility, and then maybe not taking so much risk when he knows he can't. Either way, he's not shaking off the challenge from the number 84 of Jeffrey Herlings here. Herlings second in race 1. These two swap positions. Herlings wins the Grand Prix, and that'll be victory, career victory number 110 for Jeffrey Herlings. It'll be his 3rd success here in Uddevalla as well, but the other 2 coming in 2013 and 14 in his MX2 days when he was a whippersnapper. All he can do is keep Romain Febvre honest. Sure, if you ask Romain Febvre, you either win the Grand Prix or come away from here with 50 points lead, I'm sure he will say the latter. Oh, MRT Racing beta rider Ben Watson out of 15th place. Tim Geiser out of the frying pan into the fire this weekend. Good steady ride in the qualifying race to come home in 3rd, running 4th before he landed on Isak Gifting, took them both out of the race in race 1. Again, racing incident coming under fire from Gifting in race 2, can't shake him off. The intensity that racing brings that you can't replicate on the training ground is just another level, isn't it? Another level of commitment. Maxime Renault. He is into 5th. Verlanderen down to 6th now. But Verlanderen still 3rd overall in the Grand Prix as it stands right now. But with 15.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, Romain Febvre doing a fantastic job managing the situation perfectly. He's got Herlings around about 2 seconds behind him. Geiser in 3rd, Isak Gifting 4th, giving the home fans what they want to see. Maxime Renault inside the top 5, having a good weekend here, just off the podium though. And then we've got Verlanderen 6th, eyeing up his 2nd podium of the year. apologies. Valander lined up his third podium. His second back-to-back because he was on the podium in Lommel a round ago. And on the podium in Finland as well. Both of those third-place finishes. Doing just enough to stay there. He's got 3 points grace over Maxime Renault, so Maxime Renault needs 2 passes if he is to deny Calvin Valander a podium here this weekend. Valander putting his best lap in this time around, 1:51.420. The fastest from the top 6 riders that time around. Fevre and everybody else below him to 6th position. They were all in the 52s. Valander a second quicker than his teammate. Fastest time in race 1 was Romain Fevre, 1:50.189. Isak Gifting, 2/10 off of that in race 2. So it looks like Romain Fevre will take the Acerbis fastest lap from this weekend. Jeremy Seewer crashed out of 4th place in race 1. Oh, hello. Romain Fevre, Jeffrey Hurlings. Nothing in it between these two now. Fevre under pressure from the bullet. The gap, half a second when they hit the 3rd intermediate sector on the step-up just a moment ago. What is the response going to be from Fevre? Well, he lost about a second in sector 3 alone. So will that be rectified as he picks up the pace once again? 8 laps complete now. Someone like Jeffrey Hurlings, though, he gets a sniff. Finds himself in contention. He's not going to relent, is he? Getting tasty. "13 minutes plus 2 laps to go." All of a sudden, Hurlings all over the back of Romain Fevre. They were 1st and 2nd in race 1. You switch the positions around in race 2. So Hurlings and Fevre. Hurlings will be standing on the top step of the podium. And that will be the first time since he went back-to-back rounds 10 and 11 in Germany and Latvia. Still plenty of time to go, though. But Romain Fevre did make a mistake in sector 3, lost about a second. There's your first 2, bottom left, centre of your screen. Fevre and Hurlings, 3rd place Geiser, a bit of a gap. But look at the pressure that he's under here. Valander down the inside of Renault. Renault fighting back as they try to find their way past Gifting. Valander was a second quicker than Renault a lap ago. So he feels like he's up for the charge, for the challenge. He's going to get squeezed here by the Frenchman on the 959. Private Yamaha versus 2 factory machines. Gifting doesn't know whether to look straight, left, right or back. Either way, he's under attack. Gifting goes defensive in blue and yellow, and Renault goes to the outside. He gets tagged on the way through. Gifting not wanting to let up here. And the 2 factory teammates, bar to bar here as well. Oh, Calvin Valander chucks it around the outside of Renault. The red mist will be down on the Frenchman's helmet there as well. He goes wide, cuts back to the inside, regains that position. These 2 fighting over 5th place. Renault hanging on for now. Valander looking for a response. Rule number 1, beat your teammate. Rule number 2, keep it clean, guys. Renault jumps long, and Valander cuts his way back to the inside, takes that 4th place away, 5th place away. And Valander got a spring in his step here. Look, he's going after Gifting. Robin's Racing is not afraid to rub elbows with the Swede, who knows he's there. Well, he knows somebody's there. Yeah, Michele Levetti. I hope you can't lip read Italian. Gifting putting everything into this race. So too Calvin Valander, and he said at the start of the weekend he wants to get a podium and prove to everybody he's not just a sandman, but he goes wide, leaves the door open. Maxime Renault chucks it off its hinges once more. Frantic action here between all the boys in blue. Valander knows, though, he might have the measure of both riders, but Can't afford to leave the door open. He's sitting in podium position at the moment in the overall classification. 3rd in race 1, 6th in race 2 will give him 35 points. But his teammate is going to make it very, very difficult for him. Maxime Renaux, looking at 4th overall. He hasn't been 4th overall since round 10, Germany. Well, all of a sudden, the pace from the two factory Monster Energy Yamahas, Valandren in 6th, Renaux in 5th. That is now pumped up Isak Gifting on the JK Racing Yamaha. He is within touching distance of Tim Geiser once again. Those two have already had some issues early on in this race. Of course, Geiser straight back into racing this weekend after going missing in race 2 in Switzerland, round 6. Maybe just a little bit of race fatigue setting in. Yes, he's fit, of course he is. But just being in the cauldron of competition, with battles going on all around, just starting to get the better of him here in the latter stages of race 2, possibly 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Hurling's not clear enough either, so Geiser, Gifting, Renaux, Valandren, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, all pretty much on the same part of the racetrack. So this is a bit of a Yamaha story coming up here. Once upon a time, oh, write it down, who was that? This was Gifting, and but just before that there was a yellow flag that went out. Anyway, Gifting and Valandren having a go at each other. Maxime Renaux has found his way past as well. Valandren and Gifting having a go. Renaux and Gifting having a go. Renaux and Valandren all getting tied up into each other as well. It was Geiser who fell in the turn. Look, just there, just as we cut away, Geiser out of 3rd place. Gifting up to 3rd, Renaux up to 4th, Valandren up to 5th, Geiser down to 7th. Simple tip over for the number 243, who now finds himself in 7th. No wonder the atmosphere has gone up to level 11, because Gifting now into 3rd, Renaux 4, Valandren 5, Koldenhoff 6. Let's go down to Lisa Leyland. She is at Monster Energy Yamaha with Michele Levetti, team manager for Monster Energy Yamaha Factory Racing. Because obviously, two boys there, Renaux and Valandren, 4th and 5th. Valandren eyeing up a podium for the 3rd time this year.
Michele Levetti is very much battle of the teammates at the moment, and tense moments for Yamaha.
Yeah, it's really nice battle. Actually, I like to see this kind of battle, and the guys, they are doing a really good job, and it's nice. So I hope they are smart till then. This is important, and yeah, but I'm happy to see them. Maxime also back, Calvin fight for the podium. So finger crossed till the end, and we will see.
I mean, off camera, you just told me, well, you're screaming at the TV screen saying, be smart, guys, be smart. It's so easy for emotions to get in the way. They both want the podium for their own individual reasons, don't they?
Yeah, of course. So, you know, it's emotional things, and all the time we want to scream in the helmets with them. But, okay, they are racers. They know they want to be in front with all the time, so it's normal.
But honestly, Michele, it's really good to see Yamaha at the sharp end fighting like this again.
Actually, we never die, and we are back again.
Good luck to the team.
Good to see Michele Levetti in good spirits down there, pulling his hair out at times during this 2nd race. But the two riders here, Maxime Renaux in 4th, Calvin Valandren in 5th, trying to stay cool under pressure. Not easy, given the situation. Tim Geiser in 7th place here. And here's how he fell. Just coming into land now. Does he get cross-rutted? Oh yeah, cross-rutted, folds the front, bike gets away from him. Geiser out of 3rd place in that moment. And Gifting up to third. Renault fourth, Valandren 5. But it's Roman Febvre who continues to lead. Hurlings keeping him honest in second. Gifting third, Renault fourth. Valandren rounding out your top 5. Tim Geiser in 7th for Honda HRC. He's about 4.5 seconds behind Glenn Koldenoff, ahead of him. Whilst all of the craziness has been going on all around us, here's Lucas Kuhnen. He's now 13th, about 8.5 seconds behind Jeremy Seewer. He's been plodding along, trying to pick up as many points as he can. Just over 4 minutes plus 2 laps remain here in this second MXGP race. And Lucas Kuhnen at the moment, yes, he's been chipping away, but he's only managed to get that gap down from 50 points when he was outside of the points in 21st to 42 as it stands right now. Look, as you can see on screen. And in some respects, you know, whatever happens, get out of this Grand Prix. When you're 42 points down, the pressure is lifted somewhat, even though he says he doesn't feel the pressure. And that is a dangerous animal to compete against, because there's NFG and there's just absolutely no concern whatever else. And there's no reason why he couldn't go out and win 8 races out of 8, plus qualifying races as well. And that would really throw, Renault, that would really throw a cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? Maxime Renault out of 4th place. Valandren back into that 4th. Renault down to 5th. Kevin Valandren all of a sudden fancies his chances at another 3rd place finish. 3-3, that'll be good for Valandren here. Got 5th in the qualifying race to get 5th gate pick. And Valandren 3rd and a 5th in Belgium at the MXGP of Flanders Lommel. So 3rd on the podium here with a 3-4 as it stands right now. Better than his performance in the sand. But he would love to go 3-3, of course he would. Time ticking away though. Just over 2 minutes remain, plus 2 laps. MXGP Race 2 here in Sweden at Uddevalla. Febvre and Hurling separated by 2.6 seconds after 14 laps. That gap going out to 2.7 as Hurlings comes over the line now at the end of lap 14. And he's been caught by Isak Gifting, Calvin Valandren, who's just made his way back past Maxime Renault, who made a mistake, went off track a short while ago. He finds himself in 5th, about 1.5 seconds further back. So look at this, Febvre top left in green, then you've got Hurlings, Gifting, Valandren, Renault. Pretty much separated by 6 seconds, the top 5 riders. Koldenoff another 9 seconds further back. Roman Febvre on course for his 2nd success around here, the last, and his 1st and only success around here 10 years ago, 2015. The same year, he was victorious in MXGP as a world champion. Is that a telltale sign of how this season is going to go? Metaphorically, who knows? Valandren had a quick look down the inside. Gifting keeping him back there in 4th. Goes a long way around again, Calvin Valandren. Gifting knows he's there, tries to cover his bases, and then goes defensive in the next turn. Valandren doesn't need to make the pass, but he just wants to make the pass. Because Calvin Valandren, 27 points down on Ruben Fernandez, coming into race 2. Fernandez down in 9th place at the moment. That's only going to be good enough for 12 points. Valandren in an 18-point paying position. He wants to move on to 20. Pull back another 8 points potentially. But look at this. 3 laps to go. The clock ticked down to about 5 seconds as Fevre went through, and he has no time to blink because Hurling's all over the back of him here, challenging for the lead and the overall Grand Prix victory. And behind Hurling's, you've got a whole freight train of riders: Gifting, Valandren, Renault, and Calvin Valandren just behind the Swede as well. And Gifting up the inside, fans on their feet, listen to the noise. Absolutely bonkers here in Sweden. And he's going to make the move on second. Wow! Listen to that noise. Gifting second. What a reaction from those fans on the hill. Hurling's trying to come back for more. Gifting keeps him back there in third. Valandren probably can't believe his eyes at the moment. Sensational this from the Super Swede. Romain Fevre will be wondering what on earth is going on behind him. Hurlings chucks it in there. Tries to take the shortest route through. Tries to find his way back past Isak Gifting. Talk about a fascinating end to this race. What a race it's been. He is on the verge, potentially, of taking a first ever race win, Isak Gifting. And what a place to do it than right here. No better place to do it than right here at home in Sweden. Into the final 2 laps. Romain Fevre about a second clear of Gifting. These two breaking free from Hurlings, who has Valandren and Renault to deal with behind him. Watch this here. Gets alongside Hurlings. Doesn't jump any longer, but he was just committed. Charging downhill into turn 5. Used the berm to slow him down. And that was a lap ago. And he's still chasing Romain Fevre. You just want Romain Fevre just to pull over and let him have the race win. But there's no way Romain Fevre is going to give up a win, an overall Grand Prix. 3 points in the championship. Lucas Koonen's still there in 13th place. Valandren here. Oh, back end. Wow, he saves it. Stays on 2 wheels in 4th. Everybody losing their heads a little bit here. Everybody fancies a race win all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, when that happens, and you try to find another 10 tenths and you're already at 12 tenths, those mistakes come thick and fast. Valandren having a warning there. Fevre will know by now. Gifting is all over his rear end. Gifting having a look back to say, do I have an opportunity to chase the win? And if I mess up, how far is Hurlings back? Well, the answer is about 1.5 seconds. Into the final lap. If you didn't know who Isak Gifting was before this weekend, you certainly do now. I'm sure he has won a whole new army of fans worldwide with this performance here today. A privateer going after a race win at home in Sweden in front of his home fans. He led for a few laps last year. You didn't think it would get much better than that, but what a performance this is. He's up the inside of Fevre. A bike length in it. Is he going to repeat the pass where he found his way past Hurlings? I think he is. Gifting leads. He takes the lead from Fevre. They can't believe it. I can't believe it. Pull me down from the ceiling, please. Gifting leads on the final lap. Go on, son. His heart must be pumping through his chest. Fevre knows he doesn't need to win this race to win the Grand Prix. I can't believe my eyes. Thousands of fans worldwide can't believe their eyes. Hold it together, keep it in check. Gifting throws it away. Heartbreak for Gifting once again on the final lap. Wow! Roman Febvre takes over the lead. Gifting down. Motocross can be so cruel sometimes. I'm speechless. Somebody help me out. Oh, I can't. I'm in the broom cupboard on my own. Roman Febvre will cruise to a double race win here in Sweden. Roman Febvre will win the MXGP of Sweden. A double race win for the championship leader. What a race. Hurling seconds, Renault third, Verlandren fourth. Your podium is going to be Roman Febvre, Jeffrey Hurlings and Calvin Verlandren. What a Grand Prix. Heartbreak though for Isak Gifting. Hasn't got that motorcycle going. He is going to be heartbroken. He's going to be in tears. He walks away. He just set the fastest time in Sector 2 of the race. Watch this here. He launched his way down the inside. We knew the pass was coming here. It's exactly where he found his way past Hurlings. Febvre thought about a response, and that was it. And all he had to do was stay on two wheels. And then this happened. The front end got away from him. Talk about wearing your heart on your sleeve. Fantastic performance, great atmosphere, but it's Febvre who wins in Sweden. Honestly, I can't believe what I've just seen. He put absolutely everything into that performance, Isak Gifting. And it all comes to no avail. But Roman Febvre, he won't care about that. I'm sure he could hear the atmosphere. I'm sure he knew it was Isak Gifting behind him. And he was prepared to take second in the end. But it was gifted to him by Isak Gifting. Here he is, Roman Febvre with Lisa Leyland.
Roman Febvre, what a race. 3 out of 3 race wins for you. It almost didn't happen there at the end, but honestly, this weekend was massive for you.
Yes, it was. First time this year going 1-1-1. Yeah, for so many GP I was looking for this, but I was not good enough. And field this weekend, everything was clicking. Today, both all shot. So yeah, honestly, head off to Gifting. Second motor, he was going for it. Maybe a little bit too much at the end, but yeah, he was riding good. I think he was all the way with us, but he crashed the first lap. So really good weekend.
Great job, thank you.
Roman Febvre wins for the first time in Sweden, 10 years since his last victory here on Swedish soil. He goes 1-1, he goes 1-1-1. Wins all 3 races here for the first time in a season in 2025. Extends his lead to 41 points over Lukas Kuhnen with 4 rounds to go in what was a dramatic, emphatic, crazy Grand Prix here in Sweden. Roman Febvre wins race 2 in probably the, I don't know, the most bonkers, the craziest, the most exciting, and everything race 2 did. Roman Febvre your winner, Hurling second, Renault third, Calvin Verlandren, Koldenhoff, Panzer, Geiser, and Ruben Fernandez. Van Donnick 9 and Jonas 10, Seaver 11, Kuhnen 12, and a Mostijk, Bonacorsi, Prunier, Steri. And then picking up the final points, Fredriksson, Bogers, Gerhardsen, Osland. Can somebody just gift Isak Gifting 25 points, please? Even though he didn't score in that second race, he deserved every single moment of it. Roman Fevre coming away with a double race win. He won the qualifying race on Saturday as well to pick up the full 60 points over the weekend. 50 in the Grand Prix on Sunday, though, when it mattered. Hurling second overall with 2 second-place finishes. Villander third, his third podium success of the year. Another third-place finish. This one on hardpack, though, he'll be pleased with that. Edging out his teammate as well in the process, Maxime Renault. Glenn Koldenoff rounding out your top 5. Roman Fevre, 41 points clear now at the top of the championship. He started the weekend 9 clear of Lucas Koenen. That is a massive point swing for the Frenchman, Roman Fevre. And you can never say he's now the favourite. He can't say he's got one hand on the trophy. Plenty of people will be thinking about it. But you look at this weekend, the same could happen next weekend in the reverse order. Could be Koenen celebrating, could be Fevre having the kind of weekend that Koenen did. So you cannot be complacent, you cannot relax and just assume that this is a given now. Still plenty of points on the table, 4 rounds to go. 240 points still up for grabs. Take a look at the Manufacturers' Championship. 11 points now between KTM and Kawasaki. Kawasaki gaining ground on the Austrians. Been one of those days, one of those weekends for Roman Fevre. Foxhole shot in race 1. Picks up the 25 points. Race 2. It was Roman Fevre again, just from Isak Gifting. 2 black plates, 2 wins. Roman Fevre on the top step of the podium for his 2nd win in Sweden. His 5th win of the campaign, 14 podiums in a row now for the World Championship leader. He's only missed the podium once, that was 5th overall in Kozar, round 2 in Spain. And that was the 5th. Well, if anything else, this Grand Prix has been nothing short of sensational. Certainly made all the better by that 2nd race. Calvin Villander gets his hard-packed podium here in Sweden. The Monster Energy Yamaha rider. A 3rd and a 4th this weekend for the number 10. Jeffrey Hurlings, 2nd overall, 2 second-place finishes for him. Roman Fevre, Kawasaki Racing Team, MXGP. A massive roar from the Frenchman as he makes his way to the top step of the podium. France now with 7 wins in all classes in this Swedish Grand Prix. Tommy Allenson, Svemo Motocross Commission member, hands a 3rd place trophy to Calvin Villander, 3rd overall this weekend. 3 visits to the box in 2025. Back-to-back podiums for him as well for the first time this year. Jonas Gustafsson, the Svemo president, hands a 2nd place trophy to Jeffrey Hurlings, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Another podium for Jeffrey Hurlings, 155 now in the career of the Bullet. 32 as a 2nd place finisher. Hakan Lehmann, the FIM board member. Roman Fevre, your overall winner here, going 1-1. He also won the qualifying race on Saturday. Job very well done for him and for Kawasaki Racing Team this weekend in Sweden. 90 podiums now for the Frenchman, 26 in the career of Roman Fevre. As a winner, Antti Pyränen. team manager there. Now, on the podium once again, Antonio Alia Portela, the FIMC-AMS director, hands the red plate to Roman Fevre. What a weekend it has been in Sweden for Roman Fevre. Your top three here this weekend: Roman Fevre, Jeffrey Hurlings, Calvin Valandren. Roman Fevre, Jeffrey Hurlings, Calvin Valandren, your top three overall here, round 16, and what is an eventful, crazy, action-packed Grand Prix here, the MXGP of Sweden. We'll talk to the top three in a moment, hear what they have to say, but let's check out what happened in MXGP Race 2 before we go anywhere else, shall we? The second MXGP race, what an event this one was. We saved the best for last. Roman Fevre with his second foxhole shot of the day, his 7th of the season. He led through the first turn. Isak Gifting trying to make amends for what happened in race 1 when he fell from 3rd with Tim Geiser. He was right there in the mix and quickly got himself into 2nd. Hurlings, though, went around the outside as he queued up behind Fevre in turn 3, Gifting. Koonin fell at turn 3 with Bonacorsi. Separate incidents. Then we had 2nd, 3rds and 4ths, plenty of afters anyway. These two picking up from where they left off. Geiser and Gifting dishing each other out over that 3rd place. Gifting, though, would come back and find his way past the Slovenian, who then fell with a few laps to go. That put Gifting into 3rd. He had the 2 factory Yamahas behind him as well, in the form of Valandren and Renault. Renault was the lead Yamaha until that moment, so that put Valandren into 4th, Renault down to 5th. But there was more to come. 3 laps to go. Gifting found his way into 2nd with that pass on Jeffrey Hurlings. He then went after Fevre. 2 laps later, on the final lap, he made the move, he made it stick, he took over the lead. All he had to do was bring it home the next few corners. He folded the front. The place erupted. Gifting could not restart the bike, he would not finish the race. Fevre went on to win for the 2nd time today from Hurlings, Renault, Valandren and Koldenhoff. And the overall Grand Prix was Fevre, Hurlings and Valandren. Koonin was 8th overall today.
Roman Fevre, what a weekend. Fantastic week. 3 out of 3 races for you, foxhole shots for you, perfect racing for you, massive points gain for you. It's a brilliant weekend for you and the Kawasaki racing team.
Yeah, sure. I will not lie on this one. It's a really good weekend, like you say, and a good brief for me for the championship. So, like I say, it's not done till the last round, but it feels good. I was riding really good this weekend, and yeah, going 1-1-1 feels awesome, honestly. So. We'll see. Keep going that way, and yeah, I will fight till the end.
It's your first win in Sweden for 10 years, so you kind of have an unfinished business here, and you've done it. Yeah. Thanks to remember always 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 9 years ago. Yeah,
But yeah, feels good. Yeah, like I said, I don't count. I don't know the statistic, honestly. I don't care. I try my best every time, and yeah, it was a good weekend.
Thank you. Second overall today, we have Jeffrey Hurlings. Jeffrey, 2 solid races in that second race. You definitely kept Fevra honest. Another podium for you, solid weekend and consistent. How do you reflect on it?
Yeah, 3 seconds. The last moto, a fellow was quite close to a man. I was really pushing for him, and I'm going to get a gap because I was running out of tear-offs. And just when I did that, he stole his bike, and yeah, it was a bad timing for that. But he was really good today. I had enough for him. Man, when Isak came the last 3 laps, I was like, man, where did he came from? So I was really surprised and couldn't even attack him back. So, but then he crashed, so I managed to go 2-2 for second overall. And it's not too bad to be back on the bike for 2.5 weeks. So looking forward to my home GP in Arnhem, and hopefully we can be on the box there again and preferably even win. I'll do my best for that.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Third overall today, we have Calvin Vlaanderen. Calvin, that's back-to-back podiums for you. You told me yesterday you wanted a podium on the hard pack. Your wish has been granted. Fantastic battle there with your teammate and just solid races. Well done.
Thanks very much. It was such a good weekend again. To go back-to-back always feels good. I mean, this podium feeling never gets old. So this is what I wanted, and I worked hard for it. That second moto was a dogfight the whole race. It was honestly one of the funnest races that I've had in my life. Like, we just kept going at it. Every lap was like a sprint race. I knew Maxime was going to race hard, but he races clean, so we have a good respect for each other. And Isak was also riding really well. We couldn't find our way past him, and he kind of held us up a little bit. But all in all, it was a good weekend, and just keep the ball rolling. I'm having so much fun, and home GP up next.
Well, you had the best seat in the house behind Gifting as well.
Yeah, honestly, I saw him take the lead, I think, the last lap, right? And it would have been cool for him to win in front of his home crowd. But you know him, he goes all out all the time. So anyway, it was nice for him to run up front, and unfortunately he couldn't finish it off. But for myself, I'm happy to be back on the box.
Great job, thanks, Calvin.
Calvin Vlaanderen, third overall this weekend. 3 podiums now in the last 4 rounds. Third in Finland, third in Lommel, third here with a 3-4 finish this weekend. Jeffrey Hurlings, second overall, just decided to sit back from Romain Fevra to save his tear-offs and his visibility, and as he did that and sat back, Romain Fevra stalled the bike. That brought Jeffrey Hurlings back into contention, but he just wasn't close enough to capitalise. Romain Fevra went on to go and win after Isak Gifting took the lead briefly on the final lap and then fell. Fevra going 1-1-1 here this weekend. He goes from 9 points to 41 points clear as we head into the MXGP of the Netherlands in Arnhem 1 weekend from now. And if you like what you saw this weekend, get yourself to Arnhem, because it's going to be an absolute cracker. Everybody with an agenda now. Koenen is going to be riding like a wounded animal. Fevra will want to continue as he is. And of course, Jeffrey Hurlings will also want to be on the podium, and so too Calvin Vlaanderen. Anyway, we've got something else before we go here. Look at this. Isak Gifting. His weekend started well in race 1. Found his way past Hurlings to take over the lead in that second race. Found his way past Romain Fevra on the final lap to take over the lead. It has been an emotional roller coaster. Whether you're a Gifting fan or not, they loved it. And they thought he was going to bring them home a race victory until 7 or 8 corners from home. He couldn't get back into the race. Absolutely heartbroken, but you know what? He is the hero of Sweden. He is the hero of MXGP this weekend. But it was just one of those races that didn't quite click for him. He was that close to getting his first ever race victory. How cool would it have been to see him win here on home soil? Well, we are out of time. My name's Paul Malin, Lisa Leyland, down there working hard as always. The rest of the team behind the scenes that you don't see. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the MXGP of the Netherlands at Arnhem from Sweden. Thanks so very much for your company. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.